Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Friday. We made it through another week. I'm on day 3 of being under the weather, but here I am finishing up this week-long talk on debunking the lies that we tell ourselves, exposing the BS in our lives. My computer's telling me your virus needs to be renewed. So I'm going to finish up today. We had a bunch of people on yesterday. They were asking some questions. I know a lot of you guys have been doing your homework, so I'm going to recap quickly, and then I'm going to finish up with some food for thought, a few more questions for you, and hopefully this week you will have been able to, what's up, PK? Thanks for doing the workout this morning, girl, and sticking with it. I'm proud of you. Keep going. So number 1, guys, was the first day was to expose all the lies, to write it all out on a sheet of paper. Now, this isn't just something that you do in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. This is something that's going to take, you're going to have aha moments throughout the week of, writing new stuff down. So have that piece of paper handy that every time you think of a lie or anything negative that you tell yourself, that you can go back and you can expose it, and you have to write it down. You can't just be like, oh, I'll do it later, because then you're going to forget. And these lies are the beliefs that you believe that are holding you back. Day 2 was to go to the positive opposites. What are the opposites of those lies? Dig deep, find your wins. What have you overcome? What have you survived? What are you thriving in? What are you in progress of? Because that is a win. Just because you haven't achieved your goal yet, I've achieved many, many, many goals, and I'm in the process of another one. I'm not there yet, but I'm in the process of doing something about it. Therefore, that is a win, and that is a truth in my life that can debunk a lie that I tell myself. So make sure you include those small wins that you're doing daily and consistently, because that will help propel you forward. And you have a lot more wins that you think. So again, make sure you have these pieces of paper out on your countertop so that you can write them down at any time. Day 3 was to set up some new patterns. So we set up a 21-day plan for you, 3 times a day, for you to say your affirmation for whatever it is. I have all my sticky notes here for me, they're just on my table right here, because this is what I'm focusing on right now. And remember, you might have 10 or 20 lies. Maybe it's only 3, however many it is. You're only working on one at a time before you move on to the next one. Don't be trying to handle all your giants at once, all right? David only had Goliath one time. He didn't have Goliath and 99 behind him, okay? So one at a time, and then we'll work on the next one, because that's how you build up your confidence and your skills to process and to deal and to reflect and to interpret what the hell it is that you're even believing and why in the first place, all right? So the next day, what was the next day? Yesterday was I needed you to rewrite and re-author. Good morning, Linda. What's up? What's up, Eliza? I don't know the other eyeballs on there, so comment in the box and let me know who you are. Don't be afraid. All right, you listening for a reason, so stay tuned. So I needed you to rewrite the story. So whatever story it was that you were telling yourself, I needed you to completely rewrite it in a positive aspect. Yes, and I actually needed you to physically write it out. And I think I told you that one of my coaches told me I had to do the same thing. So I want you to rewrite the story in a positive light. What did you learn from it? What skills? What did you gain from it? How did it bring you to where you are today? So that instead of thinking my mom was a jerk the whole time to me growing up as a kid. Was she really? Or did she do a bunch of other things for you? Are you just focusing on the one negative thing about your mama when your mama, 1, gave birth to you, and 2, raised you and was probably doing the best that she could? And I'm not saying all mamas are great, right? Because we all have our faults, and I'm just using this as an example. But focus on some of the good things that she did for you, where she did show up for you. Rewrite the story in a positive light. And then you've got to repeat that to yourself to form a new pattern and a new pathway in your brain, so that your brain focuses and finds the positive. It's like when you go buy a red car, right? You see all the red cars. When you set out to look for negative things or trashy people when you're at Adventure Island, why is that coming to mind right now? That's all you're going to see. So you need to set your mind up to focus on the positive things, okay? Totally wasn't at Adventure Island looking for trashy people, but they were everywhere, okay? It was something that just made me feel really uneasy and on edge, and I don't know why I'm talking about it right now, but people, pull yourselves together, okay? Anyhow, what we need to talk about today to wrap it all up, to have it all make sense, to have it all come together, is if you keep believing these lies, they become your belief system. It becomes your belief system that this is what you think, this is how it is, this is how it's always going to be. You can never do it. It'll never happen for you. That only happens to rich and famous people. That's a bunch of BS you're telling yourself, okay? It can happen for you, but if you continue to believe, thank you, Melissa. No, I feel like absolute crap, but I'm up and I'm functioning, and that's what's important. I had my 5-minute pity party this morning. No, I feel like crap. I look like crap, but that's okay because I'm going to feel better tomorrow. So I'm showing up ugly for you guys. Your beliefs can change. Your beliefs can absolutely change. You may be dead set in certain ones, but I'm going to argue that then that is actually your values. So there's a difference between your values and your beliefs. Your values are, I believe, are cemented. These are the things that keep coming up in your life that you stand by. You will not cross the line on these things. These are deal breakers, and we've talked about this. These are things that make you hungry for more, hungry for better, hungry to do the thing. These are the things that pull you out of bed, that make you do stuff like I'm doing today, even though I feel like crap and I don't want to. Right? My values tell me that I've got to get up and do it. All right? I believe that I'm sick and I don't feel good and I don't feel like I'm doing it, but that can change just like that by me telling myself, get up, do it, be strong, you can handle this, keep going. Your beliefs can also be something that change over time with education, with adversity, with exposure. But without having your values like as your firm foundation, right? That is like, let's say that's your soil, that's your garden, right? Your values are your soil. It's your dirt in the ground, okay? The beliefs is what grows from it, okay? So if you are cemented in your values and you know what your values are, then your beliefs will be able to help you focus on the positive and to move forward and to overcome hard times and to show empathy for others and to soften your judgment or to harden your judgment if you're too soft. It just depends on where you're at. And it will help you believe the better story rather than the bad story, okay? So BS can mean two things, right? The one that you're thinking in your head right now, which we say like all the time, but it's a bad story or a better story. And I want you guys to have better story as at the end of this. So if you don't know what your values are, I want you to think about the times in your life or the day-to-day things in your life. What would you drop anything for right now? What would you work hardest for? What would you die for? What would you sacrifice your home for, your things, your material items for? What would you give up for and sacrifice for this thing? And you may have like, businesses, we're taught we need to have like 5 to 7 core values and things like that. Personally, you may have some different ones from professionally. What's up, Miss Carmen? Hola. You might have some different ones. Mine are pretty much the same across the board. The first thing that I value is love. Love is my number one value. I crave it. I desire it. I need it. I want it. I want to give it. I want to serve it. Love is my number one thing. I will do absolutely anything for the people that I love in my life, right? Faith and belief are also a top value for me. Facing your giants, having courage is a top one. Endurance, never giving up, keep going. That is a core value for me, right? Giving more and serving others is another one. So do it again better, like repeat your behavior, pass it on. Those are core values for me. Do it with integrity, live authentically, live alive, like actually enjoy the life that you're living. That is another core value for me. I have 7 of them, right? But the 3 that are constant in my life is the love, the faith, and the endurance for me. I'm a keep going, never give up kind of gal, and I do that for love and for the faith that I have that I see on the other side, plus my faith in my God and my Father. The faith that I have in myself and the faith that I have in my dreams that are going to happen and come true because I believe the better story and not the bad stories. So I want you to think about that. How you're going to do that is by asking yourself a few questions. First of all, we're going to let go, and I'm reading my notes because I jabbled a bunch of notes down for you guys. I want you to let go of who you were, right? I want you to get to where you need to be. Right? To fill that gap, you've got to let go of who you used to be. You got to used to be is like when I hear people say, I used to be an athlete, I used to be 50 pounds thinner, I used to be this, I used to be that. You're still grieving and stuck in that state. You are no longer that anymore. It's a really sad story. I hate to tell you, but it is. So you need to let go of that shit. You are not used to be anymore. You are better than that, and you are becoming better than that, and you are stronger than that, but you've got to let go of who that was in order to become who you are. So ask yourself, myself, am I in a used to be state? Did I used to be this, right? And then I need you to make peace with that and leave it behind. So do whatever you need to do to grieve it, have peace with it, and leave that behind. Otherwise, you're going to keep clinging to those lies. And that's why those values come in handy, because if it's not serving your values, right, then it's not serving your beliefs. And then your beliefs are going to end up going right back to the bad stories. I hope all of this is making sense, because it feels like it is coming out, that my brain is in that fog from this sickness. This is a huge one. A lot of people don't do what they need to do to let go of the lies, to let go of the bad stories, to rewrite a positive one, because you are too afraid to make other people uncomfortable. You are too afraid to make other people uncomfortable, so you're going to suffer. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be awkward. You're going to be waiting around for other people because you are not willing to make them uncomfortable with the things that you want that make you comfortable. So I'm asking you to live your life on your terms and not somebody else's. They will get over it. Trust me, I have been there and done it. I've been it with my family, with friends, right? And everybody ain't meant to stay with you along the way, and that's totally okay. You got to be okay with that. But like the true like inner circle, the true family, the blood, like even if they're not blood, but you know what I'm talking about, they will stick by you. They will stick by you. They will support you. They will be like, all right, she's making some changes. She's growing. He's growing. He's doing his thing. I honor that. I respect that. Right? He's doing his calling. He's serving his God, his higher purpose, his whatever, instead of serving everybody else around you like a slave. Do not be a slave to other people's problems or passions. They are not yours. You have your own passions and your own problems, right? And you need to be able to have courage to face those on your terms, not somebody else's. So ask yourself if this lie that you're telling you, do you keep telling yourself this lie because you're too afraid to make somebody else in your life upset? You're too afraid to hurt somebody's feelings or to let them down. You don't think they can handle it. It's not your problem to worry about what they can and can't handle. They will get over it, they will figure it out, and they will either be with you or not. And that's okay, and you got to be okay with that. Otherwise, you will keep living the lie that you really don't want to live. So ask yourself that. You can either wrestle with your past or you can fight for your future. So that's a sticky note right there. Wrestle with your past or fight for your future. Focus forward on your future. I say focus forward like all day long. Focus forward, right? Then you've got to let go of those old behaviors, those habits that you're doing, those rituals that you're doing, those behaviors that you're doing. You've got to change them. The easiest way that I've been able to accomplish this for myself, for one, is to immediately do the opposite of what Robin would normally do. Like, they have a nickname for me called Turbo, right? Because I can easily like go off when I am passionate about something. Now, if I don't care about it, I don't care about it, and I walk out of the room and I leave. It doesn't bother me. But if I'm passionate about something like health and fitness and the ability to achieve and do more and not settle and not be second best, because I believe anything is possible for anybody, right? If you want to do it, I'm going to get passionate about it and fired up about it, right? Sometimes I got to learn to hold my tongue, to say it softer, to have some empathy, to let them express their feelings, to just listen, to hold back. So sometimes I have to do the exact opposite of what I really want to do. So if you're doing something right now in your life, the easy fix, and you don't want to be doing it anymore, or you know it upsets somebody else in your life that you love and you respect and you don't want to upset them, but you keep doing it anyways, do the exact opposite. Do the exact opposite. Shut your mouth. Listen. Maybe if you're always listening, you're never talking, you're not communicating, maybe you need to start communicating. Maybe you need to actually be brave enough and vulnerable enough to tell your feelings and let them handle it. You know, you're allowed to disagree with somebody. You're allowed to not do things the same way as somebody. You're allowed to have differences of opinion. You're allowed to hurt somebody else's feelings by exposing your own. And if that love is strong enough and that connection is strong enough, it will be okay and it will survive. And you know what? It will thrive. It will deepen even stronger because you'll have that mutual respect that you won't keep repeating those behaviors. So you've got to be willing to let go of the behaviors. You have to be willing to let go of the behaviors. So what behaviors are you doing that are causing you to continue to believe in that lie that you keep telling yourself? And then the last thing really is clinging to those people, holding on to those people and to those things and to those behaviors that are keeping you stuck. Sometimes you're just going to have to let go of those people that have been with you so long in your life, okay? A quote from Dave Hollis the other day he gave us during our, and you don't know who he is, you need to look him up. He was a Disney executive for 17 years. He's done so much in the entertainment industry. Then he helped his wife, ex-wife Rachel Hollis, build her company from the ground up. He's written a best-selling book. He's a speaker, an author, and a coach. He's absolutely amazing, and he's sharing his journey with us like one-on-one like this, and I love that I've gotten to speak with him. And a quote that he said the other day that I had to write down that is sticking with me is, and which really resonated with how I live the past 2 years of my life with my business and with something in a relational status, was clinging to how things are will not keep them as they are. So write that one down. Clinging to how things are will not keep them as they are. And that was Dave Hollis, and I love it. So look him up, tag him on Instagram, and start following him. He's absolutely amazing and full of energy. So I love learning from him. So trying to keep that noose and that lockdown, I have a really good image in my head, but I'm going to save it for another mindset video that helped me get over clinging and holding on to something so long till you're at the end of your rope. And you knew if you just let go, you'd have so much freedom on the other side. And that's what these bad stories are doing to you guys. You got to let go of the rope. I mean, some of y'all, like, they never give up and they keep going. I get that, and I love your endurance, but you got to know when to let go, and you've got to know when to loosen up on the rope. Okay, it's a fine difference between keep going no matter what versus keep going on the right path with the right behavior and the right attitude and the right people in your life. So make no mistake about that. Keep going, but keep going with the right attitude, right? With the right people, on the right path, for the right purpose, with the right passion. Keep going in that instance, okay? Don't keep going holding on to that noose knowing that you shouldn't be. So that's what I have for you today to wrap all of this up all week long. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm going to finish with this last thing. Someone asked me, how long did it take me to get into my state maybe that I'm in now, or how well? I was hurt 7 years ago, severely, almost died, had a life-threatening very rare illness and infection that spread in my body, in my spine, up my spinal cord, in my hips, and left me very, very, very sick with having to learn how to walk again, being incapacitated for a really long time. And it was my daughter's kindergarten teacher. And she saw me in that state, very sick and fighting through it, because it was months and months and months, first of being sick and then not knowing what was wrong and fighting for that, and then knowing what was wrong, having the emergency surgery, and then recovering and physical therapy afterwards. And these people were beacons of light in my life to help me take care of my children during this time. And so she saw me on a walker, and she saw me try to go to my kids' events, and basically hunched over or on the walker or crawling or whatever it is. I could barely sit or stand. And if you can't sit, you can't stand. What the hell are you doing, Anyways, she asked me how long it took for me to recover from that, to get to my best state. And I'm not in my best state yet. I am still working on being in my best state. It's a constant growth process every single day. I am so much better than where I was then. I was living a life that wasn't 100% authentic, even though I had a beautiful life. It just wasn't who I was becoming, something else, but I was fighting it, and I was living in that shell of all these lies that I was telling myself. But Shanna, to answer your question is, it was a year recovery for that, but it has legit been a 7-year process. As you can see, I'll start to well up. They say you're not healed until you can tell your story without crying about it. I don't necessarily believe that's true. I think that I can speak about it in the state that I'm in, how much healthier I am, how much I've grown, what I've let go of, what I've built in the past 7 years because of what happened to me then. I've been able to change thousands of lives and help other people realize their dreams and get healthy and realize the importance of being healthy and strong. I truly believe I would be dead had I not been in the state of physical shape that I was in during that time. But it has been a process of legit 7 years since it happened, that every day I'm still working on it and I fight it. This morning it was very difficult. I woke up in pain. I've been sick, so I'm resting more. Resting more for me is not good because it makes me immobile, and mobility brings up all of the problems that are wrong with my bones and the muscle tissue around them. And I need to move. That's why I'm the Energizer Bunny and I'm turbo and I'm all over the place. When I'm not moving, I'm in pain. So it's still a fight every day. But I can tell you that digging into books and growth and helping other people through what I've been through and through just other hardships, focusing on physical movement every single day, focusing on sharing my story more, even though I don't share it as much as I should, helps. And just knowing that, living with that sense of reverence for life, that I almost died and I should have died, but I didn't die. Even the survivor's guilt I have because my stepmom died when I didn't, right around the same time. We were both sick at the same time, so I struggle with PTSD and survivor's guilt from those things. That I'm here for a reason and I need to use that reason, and I can't let life slip by. I can't let time slip by. Dale will tease me sometimes. He's like, you do everything so fast and you're always doing everything. And I think that's just my sense of, I don't ever want to go back to that state. I don't ever want to be caught off guard again. I don't ever want to be faced with, you might die, you could die. I know I'm going to die one day, but I wasn't done living my life. I hadn't even started living my life yet at that point. So, and all that's coming in my book. So I just, it's a process, Shanna, and watching my daughter grow up has been a huge, and my son has been a huge like pull for me to do better and be better and not get stuck in that state of, you know, the PTSD and the survivor's guilt, and that I should be dead because I could sit and cry on the couch all day long, versus that's a story I tell myself. So I'm a survivor and I'm strong and I'm thriving from it now, and I make other people better because of what I went through and was able to overcome. But I struggle as well. But I use that as a strength to keep going. So I hope that helps and makes sense. I'll be sharing my story soon, I promise. So get some values, guys. Get your values written down, write them out. Post-it note, hit me up, man. Relentless by Robin Thrasher Fisted, hashtag post-it notes. I mean, they're all over the place, okay? So anyways, I love you guys. I really hope this touched somebody's life all week long. If it changed one person's life, if it exposed one life for one person, if it helped you see a positive truth, if it helped you set up some new habits for the next few days, 21 days, and then 30 days, 45, 60, 90 days, so that it becomes a new behavior, that your brain chooses that as a pattern that is positive rather than going down to the negative way, then I am so happy and so excited to continue doing this for you guys. I'll be back next week with some more. Who knows what? Maybe we'll have some fun. This has been a heavy week, so maybe we need to lighten it up a little bit. But it's serious. Like, it's legit serious. If you want to change your life, you got to get serious about it. You have to be intentional about it, and you have to want it more than the current things that are in your life right now. And that means, you know, sacrificing some things that you're currently doing that are hurting you, which I think is a good thing. So let that shit go. Machete that shit, let it go. Define your values so that you can lay a good bedrock for your beliefs, and then know that your beliefs are going to be ever changing as you grow. You will not stay the same. Somebody might argue with me on that. Your values will probably stay the same. They should stay the same. You should have some concrete values there. Beliefs can change. They can grow. They can be flexible. They can adapt. Okay? Values stay the same. And values is what's going to help you overcome those bad lies. All right? So try to realize some of those today. Do all of this all week long, all month long. Keep doing it until you've exposed all your lies and you actually look in the mirror and you're like, I'm doing it. I'm living. This is life. I am living my best life. That's what I want for you guys. Create it. You have the ability to create it. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Let me know. Comment, like, share, all that good stuff. Peace out.